What's up, people of the internet, people of the YouTube? It is I, Josh, the Creep Leads, and I have more pickups and video games and awesome things to show you guys. So let's jump right into this. So we're gonna start this video off with heavy hitter. We'll call this a heavy hitter. I saw this in an ad on Kijiji, which is very rare that I find deals on Kijiji anymore. That being said, I did find two really good deals. This being one of them, and it was an ad for a bunch of PS3 games, and the ad said PS3 games for sale, $10 each. So of course I just kind of flipped through the games and had a look, and I saw on the shelf some PS2 games on the side, and of course they weren't in the ad, no one said anything, so I just wrote quick and said, hey, I'm interested in this game for the PS2, how much is it, when can I pick it up? And I got a reply back saying $10, pick it up anytime now if you want. So I headed right over, and that game is a Metal Slug Anthology on the PS2. Now I have this on the Wii. I did have it on the PSP, but I sold that version because I had the Wii one, and now I have the PS2 one, which I hear is kind of the definitive version to have. So yes, that's why I'm very excited to have this game. I'm probably still going to keep the Wii one just for some 4-player multiplayer, which I'm not sure if you can do 4 players on that one. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Yes, you can. So 4 players on the Wii, 2 players on the PlayStation 2. So I'll probably just keep both versions. This stuff I'm going to play single player, and the Wii one for multiplayer. So that's the plan on that. Next, I found another deal in Kijiji, which was really good. A bunch of Wii games, and they were all, I think they were $5 each. I think. Yes, they were $5 each, and excluding one that happened later. So I basically just wanted to hop on this and get as many as I could. Actually, I think it was $5 for all of them and $10 for one. It came to like just a little over $40. So a bunch of Wii games. The first one is Overlord Dark Legend. Overlord games are pretty decent. Not sure how this one goes, but I feel like the motion controls would serve this game really well, so that's why I picked it up to try it out. A second copy of Trauma Center Second Opinion. That's a double for me, so that'll be going in the trade pile. This was the game that was $10, which I was happy to spend. Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now I have this on the Wii already sealed, but I wanted an open version to actually play. I'm to the point now where Wii games, if I find sealed games that are actually decent and worth holding on to, I find them hard to open. And this game is like, it's not hard to find open now, so I figured I'd just grab it. So yeah, definitely wanted to grab that while I could. And I'll probably just either keep the sealed one or sell it off. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. What really made me want this deal, because they had this one marked at $5, and that is New Play Control Pikmin. I'm very new to the Pikmin series. I've played a bit of 2 and 3. I haven't played the first one, but I hear that this is almost the version 2 play over the GameCube, and that may be blasphemous to say, but that's what I've heard. So if you have contrary opinions, please let me know down in the comments. Which version should I play if I was to play Pikmin 1? The GameCube one or the Wii one? So yeah, that was there. And actually, when I got there, it was just 2 girls in the house, older, looked like they were in college, and I asked, do you have any other games that you're selling? Like, clearly you've got a bunch here, or anything else you're selling? So they pulled out a stack of PS4 games and some more Wii games, and the only one that I picked up that I was just like, ooh, I will have this one, I don't have it. She wanted $20, actually she wanted $25 for it. I said, would you take 20? And she said, sure. And that is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So get ready, hashtag video game confessions. I have never played a Zelda game. It's not true. I've played a Zelda game. I've played about an hour of Ocarina of Time, and that's about as far as I got into it, and then I moved on to something else. I do need to get into it. The Wii ones really interest me. Not necessarily Twilight Princess on the Wii, but the remake is more what I want to try. This one also looks really good. The graphics look amazing from what I've seen. So I really need to get into into playing some Wii games. I'm probably going to the States in July. Actually, I shouldn't say probably. I am going to the States in July. I'm driving down with my family, so I will probably at some point take my 3DS out, and I'm going to try to beat Ocarina of Time on the 3DS. That's my plan. We'll see how it goes. Try to bring back some old school memories. We'll sit in the back of the car. Don't get to do that too often nowadays, so be interesting to try out. Alright, so next I decided to go to EV Games. I hadn't been to an EV Games in a very long time. So I decided to stop in and have a look around, and I found a couple of games there that I was very interested in trying. The first one is the Ultimate Shooting Collection on the Wii. They had converted this to pre-owned, even though it says new on there. So I think it was like, I want to say like $8.99 or something like that, $9. It was like some weird price. I figured it was worth it. I've heard good things about it. I'm trying to get more into shooters. They look like a lot of fun. So that's why I'm trying to get into that. And the Steel that I think is probably one of the greatest games ever made, in my opinion. My own personal opinion. Don't get upset. N Plus on the DS. This was $3, so totally worth it. This game is great. If you like hard platformers, hard challenging platformers, this is one of the best ones out there. So definitely pick it up. If you don't like platformers, stay away. This is not the game for you. It is hard, it is challenging, it's frustrating. It will make you want to throw your DS across the room, which, believe me, I've been tempted to do. But I've beat this game on the 360. It's only available on the arcade, so the only way to get it on physical media is the DS or the PSP, as far as I know. So wanted to pick that up. Glad I did. I've already beaten it. It's still great. I beat it for a second time. I beat it once a long time ago, so beating it there. It's really cool, and all the versions have different platforms or different puzzles, if that makes sense. The 360, the DS, and the PSP are all different. They're all the same basic gameplay, but again, different levels, so it's kind of cool. And then they had this on sale. I didn't know based on Facebook groups. I saw later when I got home that all EB Games and GameStops had put this on clearance. I had seen it on the counter, and I saw the price, and I was like, I don't think I can just leave that there. I think I have to get that. So I picked it up, and that is Chibi Robo Ziplash on the 3DS. This was $15. It went on clearance, so had to pick it up. It's got the game and the amiibo. I think the amiibo is super cute, so gonna pull that out and play it. I need to get my hands on the first one at some point, because I have a thing about playing games in order, so I want to play the first one and then I'll play this one. That's the plan anyway. So, speaking of amiibos, I also got a green Yarn Yoshi. No one really cares, but there he is. Actually, my wife saw him and said, how can we not take him home with us? So we adopted a green Yoshi. And then I went to another video game store called Microplay. It's here in the area. It's probably in other areas in Canada and the US. Actually, it might not be in the US. I think it's in Canada anyways. I think it's Ontario and Quebec. A couple of games there. I've been trying to fill out more of my PSP collection, and PSP games there are so cheap, so I figured I'd grab a few. One that I hear everyone talking about that I should have to pick up is Every Extend Extra. This was only, I think, $3, so figured I'd pick it up. It's got the cool slipcover, which is also cool, not something I see every day. So glad to pick it up and finally give that one a shot. I haven't gotten there yet, but I will. And then another copy of one of the greatest platformers ever made, and plus on the PSP. They have this one marked for $10, which is, I think, is totally worth it. But anyways, when I got to the counter, it was only marked for $5, $4.99. So I was more than happy to pay that. Still working my way through this one. I think this is funny story. When I'm on my third PSP now. The first one got stolen. The second one got caught out in the rain. As many of you know, I ride a motorcycle, and I had it in my backpack, and I got caught in a rainstorm. And I was actually almost done playing this game on my PSP. I had it digitally, and anyways, my PSP got fried. So I had to start all the way back from the beginning. So I'm working my way through this one. It's still a hell of a lot of fun though. So one of the few games that you just keep playing over and over and over. It constantly challenges you. So yeah, without going into that too much. Another thing that I picked up was the Wii U Star Fox Zero. This showed up in the mail a little bit later than I should have. I actually tweeted at Amazon because on Friday, the release day of the game, it hadn't shown up, and I was like, it hadn't even shipped yet. And I was a little peeved about that because this is one of the few games I've really been looking forward to on the Wii U. It was actually one of the ones that I suggested as my wish list for the Nintendo. It was actually one of the games that I proposed to Nintendo for my wish list for Nintendo Wii U. Really happy that this game finally came out, and I really was excited to play it. So come Friday, I got home from work, I opened my mailbox, it wasn't there. So I actually took a picture of my empty mailbox, tweeted it to Amazon. I was like, hey, what's up? Where's my Star Fox Zero? They actually tweeted me back asking me, okay, can you check the order, blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, Amazon Canada doesn't actually have a Twitter account. So I was actually tweeting at Amazon.com in the US, so they were trying to find my order on the US, I guess, order system, which is a little bit different. Basically telling me, please check the order, make sure it hasn't shipped, stuff like that. Whatever, all that blah blah, corporate talk that they try to tell you to try to smooth things over, and ended up them just saying, well, your arrival time will be based on the shipping, whatever shipping you chose at the time of order. And I was like, well, it's free shipping. It should still show up when it should, when it comes out. So whatever, either way, it showed up on Monday. So still really happy it showed up. Everyone's complaining about the motion controls. They're actually not that bad, to be honest. It actually makes more sense to use them in some cases. Everyone's also worried about, like, hey, why can't we have Star Fox like the one we did on the N64? Why can't we have that one back? Hello, we did get that one. In fact, it's right here. There it is. If you want to play the N64 one on a brand new system, here you go. Go play this one. Guess what? Nintendo likes to do weird things. They like to push the envelope and do different stuff. So of course they're going to use gyro controls or motion controls. Why wouldn't they? They have a gamepad with that capability. Sure, yeah, it would be nice for them to put in an option where they can turn it off, or you can turn it off if you don't want to use it. There is that kind of functionality already built in. I'm sure many of you already know this information, but it's not permanent. To be honest, if you actually just spend an hour, 2 hours playing the game, going back and forth between using the motion controls and turning the motion controls off, you'll actually really get used to using the motion controls, and you'll just use them. That's what's happened to me, and it's actually a really fun game. I really like it. I haven't gotten into Project Guard yet. I'm not super into tower defense games, but I hear that one's actually pretty decent, so we'll see. Anyways, really happy to have this game, really liking it. If you find it on a deal, pick it up. Actually, I think it's worth full asking price, if that's me. I'm a huge Star Fox fan, so anyways, glad to finally have this. And another thing I got from, actually from Value Village, this was a thrift stop, a N64 controller for $5.99, $6. Happy to pick that up. Always good to have spares. I'm out of spares. I sold them all off with systems. The stick on this one's a little loose, but it should work just fine. And the other thing I picked up was a power cord, and this is either for an NES or a Super NES. I believe it's a Super NES. That's my guess. That was $4 there. So happy to pick up one of those. This is actually one of the only power cords I don't have the original for. I have the original NES ones, but I don't have the Super Nintendo power cord. So happy to finally have that one, so I don't have to use the cheap Chinese knockoff ones anymore. So, that being said, I went to a video game expo, the GTA Collectibles Expo in Toronto. Great event. I actually won tickets through Canadian Retro, through his channel. He put up a video saying the first 2 people to like this video and share on 2 social media websites will win a pair of tickets. So I shared it on my Facebook and on my Twitter, and I think I was the second winner. And I ended up taking my wife with me. She said she wanted to come and check out what all this nerdy stuff's about. So it was cool to spend the day with her at one of these collectibles expos. I met up with Canadian Retro, Miles from Flock of Nerds, Rose from L'Amour Lapin. Who else was there? A bunch of vendors. It's weird because I actually go in as a patron and not a vendor. So you see a lot of the vendors that, we've done the Waterloo show together, we've done the GTA Collectibles Expo together. and things like that. So it's just interesting to actually go in and talk to them and be like, hey, how's it going? And they recognize you and they talk and they actually give you deals. So that's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. I feel like there's other people there that I'm missing. Sorry guys, if you were there and you saw me, you said hi, thank you very much. And I hope to see you guys at other swaps. The Waterloo video game swap's coming up at the end of May, so I hope to see you guys there. I think I'm going as a vendor. I'm splitting a table with Canadian Retro. So we're gonna try to sell off the rest of our doubles and make more money to buy more games. That's the vicious cycle that is video games. So while we were there, obviously looking for games, trying to buy stuff. The first thing that I bought, oh gosh, the first thing that I saw, not the first thing that I saw anyways, but the first thing that I bought was actually not even really on display. It was in a box on a table, buried under some stuff, and that's what you gotta look for. You gotta look for the boxes under the tables, the stuff where, you know, they've priced that stuff 2 or 3 years ago, and they haven't really gone back to look through to see if there's anything that's suddenly spiked in value that you know about. That happened at the Very Game Exchange. I found a couple of games there that were very underpriced, so happy to get that. This is another one that I've been looking for. I've been tempted to get the Wii version, but have held off until I found the PS2 version, which I think is, again, one of the definitive versions to have. And that is Okami on the PS2. You can see I paid $25 for it. I didn't even bother negotiating. I was like, $25, I will do that. $25 sounds good to me. Happy to get that. Very original game, very different, if you want to say that. Looks very cool though. Can't wait to try it out and play it at some point in my life. That's hopefully. The next thing I did was with another vendor. Canadian Retro knows that I'm trying to get some more Game Gear games. So this is my official announcement that I am going for a full North American set of Game Gear games. So I'm taking donations or sales and trades. If you want to let me know what you got, hopefully we can work something out. If I don't already have it. So I picked up a bunch of Game Gear games. I'll go through them really quick because, let's be honest, no one really cares about the Game Gear except for maybe me and Mark, MT Shark 7. World Cup Soccer. I'll just throw these over here. Columns, surprisingly, did not have columns. If you've seen my Game Gear collection video, you know I didn't have columns. Poker Face Paul's Blackjack. Canadian Retro gave me a hard time about this. He said that he had it for sale and I didn't buy it from him. Hey, it's just the way it goes. Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. They had a sticker on it, but I got it off fairly easily. NFL 95. Cutthroat Island. Surf Ninjas. PGA Tour Golf. And NFL Quarterback Club. So, got all those. The original price on all of those was going to be like almost $30. They were ridiculous prices. They were Expo prices, I guess. So I basically went through and grabbed a bunch that I knew I didn't have and offered them $15 for everything. Not to be a jerk, but let's be honest, Game Gear games aren't really worth anything. You had a couple in there that were worth $5 that shouldn't have been $5, and the other ones were $2 to $3 is probably about my limit on Game Gear games. So whatever, $15 for the lot. He came back with how about $21, and I was like, who offers $21? I don't understand this. So I came back with 17, and then he came back with 18. No, he came back with $19, and I was like, what is with these random numbers of $19? What is this? I was like, all right, fine, $18. So we'll call it an even 18. He was like, oh, I don't know, I've got to verify. I'm like, are you serious? Over $1? You're gonna have to go and find some kind of you have to find some authoritative figure or the boss to decide if you can give $1 off. Anyways, whatever. I guess the head honcho came over and looked at all the games and he was just like, how about 25 for all of them? I'm like, this guy just offered me $19 for all of them, and now you're saying 25? I'm offering 18. That's the offer on the table. He said, all right, fine, 18 bucks. So whatever. All those for 18 bucks. Glad to have them. Add them to the collection. I actually need to put together a list. Actually, Mark, MT Shark 7, put together a list for me for the North American release games for the Game Gear. So I'm going to use that and actually cross-reference the games that I have and need, and hopefully put together a comprehensive list in time for the Waterloo Game Show. So yeah, that's the plan. Another vendor, I think I know him. Not sure. My wife really wanted this game, and I wanted it too, to be honest. New Super Mario Bros. Wii U, New Super Mario Bros. U. We got it for $25, which I think is pretty fair. I mean, it's going for 30 plus at used at EB Games. They wanted $30 for it. I think 25 is a pretty decent deal for a new Mario game. So happy to pick that up and play that. Also another 4-player game, actually a 5-player game technically, but looks like a lot of fun. So last but definitely not least by any means, this is actually probably one of the best things ever. I did a transaction with Canadian Retro. I'm sure all of you know him, and if you don't, you should know him. He put together a little trades video before the event and said, if you're interested in anything, let him know in the comments and we make out a deal. So I said, hey, I'm interested in this and this, and he's like, all right, I'll take I think it was $15 for everything. And I was like, yep, no problem. The first is Star Wars Battlefront on the Xbox, just the first one. I got the second one at my last video, so I want the first one to just complete the set. I don't know why, it just kind of bugs me. If I'm going to play anything and play the second one, that's just basically for looks. The next one, also very cool, is, it's in a case here, hold on one sec, is Mortal Kombat 2 on the Game Gear, another one to stroke off the list. Awesome to finally have that. I've never played that version of it. It's a Game Gear fighting game, so it can't be very hard. Or it's going to be ridiculously hard and I'll never beat it. So, anyways, $15 for those, glad to have it. And then at the end of the show, actually we went out for lunch, we went to a Subway in the convention center with Rose and my wife and Canadian Retro, and actually Rose's brother Ralph was there. So we had a good time hanging out and talking. And afterwards we went up to Canadian Retro's car. My wife and I were leaving, and so he wanted to drop some stuff in his car, so had a look in his trunk. Canadian Retro's always got the hookups in his trunk. You always got to look at there at any of the swaps, and saw this sitting in there, and it's one of those games that's so bad you have to have it in your collection. Superman 64. Took that out of his hands just for some credit. At some point, I'll get him back for that. One of those, just, it's so bad I have to play it, or there's gonna be the person out there who'll be like, oh, Superman 64 is not really that bad. Okay, that's your opinion. That's fair. I can't really argue with that. My opinion is also valid, however, and I still think it's really bad. So glad to have that. Thank you, Canadian Retro. Overall, it was a great event. Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, was also there. So it was really cool to see her. It was too cheap to pay the $40 for a picture or $60 for a picture and autograph. I know all you Power Ranger fans out there are going to hate me saying, that's such a great deal, you should have got it. But I don't know, I was saving my money for the video games, so I kind of took a little sneak peek picture of me and her in the background. I know it's probably not very kosher, but that's the way it goes. But very, very cool. She was my favorite Power Ranger. I'm sure she was a lot of people's favorite Power Ranger back in the day, so I don't think you can blame me on that. So anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much, Canadian Retro, for the trades. Like I said, great event. Hope to see you all in May 29th, I guess, for the Waterloo Video Game Swap. I will see you all there. If not, peace out, and I'll see you guys later.